Alright, YouTube land. So I'm gonna make a video, update video here. That cornfield was planted yesterday, Monday. Cows have been out wintering on that all winter, and Friday I moved them out onto this rye. Today is Tuesday, obviously. So you can see the difference. That was where we chopped off, up here. And I left corn standing here. Took off the high moisture corn, if you remember that video. And then here my phone would focus on that, not my finger. That I left for deer corn for deer hunting. And then that rye was planted in end of October. So that rye is growing. So hence I don't think you can ever plant rye too late. It's not going to be as mature as quick in the spring. But anyways, the cows are grazing this back here. But on this little it's a little over 2 acres, like 2.1, 2.2 acres, basically from that post to that corner post right there, and then back here where the cows are. I seeded oats with winter rye, 50-50 mix. I wanted to see if the oats would get more growth on it than the rye in the fall, because rye does not get a lot of growth in the fall. It'll get that 3 to 6 inches, then it kind of just peters out until it sees freezing temperatures, because it needs the freezing temps to vernalize. So I also, in the small seed box, threw in Italian rye and alfalfa just to see what would happen, because originally I was planning on seeding this down. Well, here's what it looks like. So you can see the cows are grazing off this winter rye, which is up to my knee in height. Remind you, they've been on here since Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday I put them here. I don't remember for sure. So they've been on here 4 or 5 days, give or take. But you look in here, you see all this alfalfa? That was in that mix. You see this Italian ryegrass? That was all in that mix. And it was seeded at between 5 to 7 pounds to the acre. I wanted to experiment to see what was going to happen. There's more alfalfa. So this was seeded mid to late September. Now, if you look at that, if I wasn't grazing this, and this stuff is right around knee high, and this is late for the average, because typically May 15th, this is usually around waist high, and there's seed heads on it, and it's getting to be too mature. So on a late year like such, could you imagine if I didn't graze this off and I waited 2 more weeks? This Italian rye and alfalfa would be damn near ready to start blooming. So it would have made one heck of a hay crop. But I'm grazing it off, and I'm going to plant corn back into this. Just on paper, that's the way it makes the most sense. So that over there where Doofus's land, where she don't belong, that I seeded down yesterday. Planted corn there yesterday. So with my acreage that I'm planting for corn, basically I'm going to take this 6-acre strip all the way back. So I'm going to come off this line here and go straight. That side is going to get seeded down. This side is going to stay corn. For this very reason, I planned to outwinter the cows again. I figure by them being out here, it saved me at least 100 loads of manure to haul out. I have still had to haul a fair amount of manure out of the cow lot, because they will still go back in their mill around. And on days where it was raining and really muddy, I fed them in the lot. So I've already hauled out 25-30 loads out of there, and I bet you I have at least another 25 loads in there to haul out onto this field. But the plan with this is outwintering again. The day after deer hunting, we will move the bell rings all the way back there, and we'll start feeding, zigzagging back and forth like this all the way towards the front. And then next spring, once the ground starts to thaw. We'll lot the cows again until the frost is out, or until the ground is fit enough the cows can come back out. I'll throw a poly wire up wherever I can, wherever the bale rings are. And then the front part of that will kind of be like, I'll keep moving the bale rings forward, but I'll keep bringing that poly wire with me as a back wire so they can't come back up here and graze the rye as it's growing like they did this year. You can see all that rye starting to regrow. But then I'll be able to graze this rye. Basically, I'll keep moving that wire forward so that way the rye can grow. And then I will come out here and I'll plan as a strip graze this next year. And then I can do the same over there. So anyway, that's not here nor there. That's another date and time. So, but anyways, so I want to show this though, because there's a few guys that I think thought I was crazy when I said that after corn silage, you can plant winter rye and underseed it with your new seeding, and you will have your crop established come spring. You know, really, a guy could have let this grow, cut it for rye baleage, and it would have had all this other alfalfa and Italian rye or orchard grass or whatever you want to plant with it already established with the rye baleage. Would have made the rye baleage that much more nutritious for the cattle. And then your second cutting would already be your new seeding, you know, which is established. So I just want to make a video of that quick. So you can see that. No, really, a guy should have seeded this heavier, you know, like more than 5 to 7 pounds to the acre, like probably 20 to 25. But I've been having issues with my drill, and this year is going to be the deciding factor whether that drill sticks around here or not. I got to do some major playing with it on this new seeding this spring. When I used to no-till with that old John Deere Van Brunt Model B, I always had my rye out of the ground in 3 to 5 days. Some of this rye is taking over 2 weeks to emerge out of the ground, and I just cannot get the depth set right and to stay consistent. I really do not like how most of these no-till drills are set up. I really like how Great Plains has it where it's more like an end wheel drill. So if you go over a mound, your wheels are in the same plane as your disc openers. So instead of the disc openers going through and plowing and then the wheels go over the mound, they look at the udder on her, it's just full of milk. They kind of ride better, so instead of plowing and then being off the ground, they kind of hold the depth better. What are you doing, Paisley? I was worried you were going to come and eat me, chunk. But anyhow, I got to do some major playing with that drill this spring. If I can't get it to work better, well, I guess spring and fall. If I can't get it to work better and get my rye to emerge sooner, I think it's going down the road and be looking for a different drill. But anyhow, that's how things are looking. Some of my younger cows and heifers, they lost a fair amount of body condition. But things are kind of out of whack this year. The corn silage I should have saved to start feeding after they calved instead of feeding them until they calved, and then the silage was gone. So that's why we're doing less acreage of corn this year, because I'm going to chop less and make more hay and try and save the corn silage for the cows until they calve, so I can feed them a lot heavier when they're with calf. So we are backing off the corn acreage quite a bit. We only have like 18 acres of corn this year. So yeah, anyhow, that's how things are looking. A week ago, the pastures were still yellow and brown. They've really greened up, so kind of hoping this rye holds them over for at least the rest of the week, maybe part of next week, before we start grazing pastures. So that'll give the pasture a little bit longer to grow and get more height on it before they go out there. So anyhow, that's just a quick update, everybody. I will make an update on the LS one of these days too. It's almost at 70 hours. I think it has 67 on it when I parked it today. So did its first First service at 50 hours like the manufacturer recommended. So I've had it do its regen cycle twice now. I'm guessing by the hours on it, it should be getting ready to do it again. But I was told that that isn't always true to the hour mark, that it depends on what you're doing with it. So now that I'm doing a little bit more work that works a little bit more, it probably won't regen quite as often from what I've been told, but I don't know. Anyways, I'll make a video of it here one of these days. So I will tell you this right now though, it will pull a 12-foot field cultivator. I got the old field cultivator out and moved it out of the way, and I used that tractor to do it. And for the heck of it, up front in that field where the cows had really mucked that up this spring, I wanted to see if the field cultivator, if it could pull it, and it did. Even in mid-range it pulled it. So it is a pretty impressive little machine. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end this video right now, and I'll make another one of the LS here one of these days. So thanks for watching, everybody.